Okay. So we're going to be starting on give the vehicle a forward motion. So this one will make the vehicle start to move, which loads of you would are wanting the vehicle to do. So we're quickly going to watch this video. Can everyone hear
We've
it?
opened up our player controller script, and so now we can see all of this code that's inside of this script. And so we'll actually write our own line of code so that we can make the vehicle move forward from our little note we made for ourselves before. Make sure you pay attention before you do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to write our very first line of code here in our update method. So if I select this text block right after the word forward, if I press enter, so this creates a new line. So in programming, a blank space doesn't matter. Our computer just knows that there's nothing there. And what we're going to do is we're going to program using a programming language called C#. So everything that's done in Unity uses C#. If you're going to make a mobile application or if you're going to make a website, there are other languages that you can use to create those different kinds of applications. But for our game, we use C#. And C# is just one way that we're able to communicate directly with our computer using certain words that a computer is able to understand to do something that we want it to do. So in this case, we're going to write a line of code to move our vehicle. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to help visualize moving this vehicle down the road. So if I actually select the vehicle in my project hierarchy, so now you can see it's selected. If I left click on this blue arrow, I want to move the vehicle down the road. You can see down in the game screen. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. In fact, if you look in the inspector on the right side, as I'm moving this blue arrow in our transform component, you can see that the Z is actually updating. And so that gives us a really good hint of what we're trying to accomplish. So if you remember, our transform component was the thing that was updating as we moved that vehicle in the scene. In fact, we can actually use the transform component directly. So if I just type in transform, and in this case, lowercase versus capital case T is extremely important. They're two very different things. The transform is actually an entire class, very similar to our player controller class that has even more methods inside of it. A lowercase t means we're getting the transform component of our current object. In this case, it's going to be our vehicle. So now that we're getting our vehicle's transform, what we actually want to do is we want to move that vehicle in that Z direction. So we can use a method using a dot. So a dot will help us get methods out of our different classes and objects. So dot translate. And so you can see here, this is a capital T because this is a method, just like our update method. And so what is happening here is we're telling our computer we want it to do a specific instruction using this translate method. We want to translate the position, we want to change the position of our vehicle using its transform property. Now, to tell the computer that we're trying to make it do a task, we need to use these parentheses. And a really handy thing that my IDE does, it is actually suggests different things that I can do and can autocomplete certain statements that I make if I'm trying to write code or if I'm trying to use a method. In this case, it's suggesting different things I can do with our transform.translate. So this here you can see inside of translate, there's a vector3 translation. So this is a parameter. This is a piece of information that I tell the computer to use to be able to do the thing that I want it to do. Now, I don't necessarily know what a vector3 is right now. So let's see if there's other options. You can see there's 6 total options. And this one seems to be really useful. So this one actually says that it will move the transform. It'll change that position by the X, by the Y, and by the Z. If you remember, I was trying to move my vehicle on the Z. So what I can do is I don't want my vehicle to move in the X direction. I don't want it to move left or right, so I'll just type in 0. I don't want my vehicle to move up or down. It's not a plane or a spaceship, so that's also 0. But I do want to move it in the Z direction. So I'm going to make that 1. Now that we've added our parameters to our method and we have that closed parentheses, we actually now need to add a semicolon. And so the semicolon actually tells your script that the method is now complete. So you can think of how we use periods to end our sentences and close our statements. When you're programming in C#, you use a semicolon at the end of your method to tell the script that this is the end of this line. So now what this will do is update is called 50 to 60 times every second. So in a second, our vehicle will move 60 units, 60 meters in a certain direction. So now if I test this in Unity, when I press play, I should see nothing. Okay, that's not what we wanted to happen. Let's see. Get out of play mode. What did I do wrong? So let me just player controller. Oh, I forgot to save. So you can see in our project window, I selected our player controller script and it looks exactly like how we left it when we first opened it. There was no information inside of it. But as you can see in our script here, we've added 2 lines in here. We've added a comment and we've added this method that we created. So the problem is we didn't save. Simple as that. So if you just press Control or Command S, now our script is saved. You can see now in Unity, in our inspector for the preview of our script, we can see those lines of code now. So now when I press play, I should see the vehicle move. There it goes. It's speeding all the way off the runway. And it's flying off into space. Maybe it is a spaceship. Cool. So we've written our first line of code to move our vehicle. So what you're going to do is in your player controller script, underneath your update method, inside of your update method, underneath the comment, you're going to write transform.translate, and then you're going to use an open parentheses, type a 0, 0, 1, close parentheses, and then semicolon. Now it's your turn.
Okay, now that we watched the video, I'm going to quickly get up what we're going to be doing. Okay, so this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to try and make the vehicle move. So right now it's stationary. And if we click on this, it would normally go to Visual Studios, but there's a Mac equivalent of Visual Studios, which I'm going to get up. It's just like this little white box. Yeah, here. And this is where we're going to do all the coding. So in PC, Visual Studio will come up. It's basically the same thing as this, but it's a bit different. But the code will still update from here as it will on Visual Studios. So what we're trying to do is make the car move. As you can see, we have a comment here. You can tell it's a comment because it has 2 slashes there and it says move the vehicle forward. So we're going to try to do what it says there. And we're going to put the code that was mentioned in the video, transform, and dot translate. You have to make sure that the translate is a capital letter so it works. And like in the video, we're trying to do something with the coordinates to make the vehicle move. Like we're not trying to make it go sideways or make it go up. We're trying to make it go forward. So that is X, that is Y, and that is Z. The Z will make it go forward, and that's what we need for the code. So if I save there, and I stop sharing and I go to the other one, yeah, as you can see here in the code, it has been updated. So let's see if this code will work. Oh, so it says I should, oh, fix errors. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. So I just, so I know the reason why this is wrong, because like mentioned in the video, you should not forget the semicolon at the end, or else it will not work, because this indicates that the computer knows that that line has ended. So if we put that there, we save again. Stop sharing. Go to there. Okay. Now you can see it has been updated with the semicolon. Now we're going to play it and see what happens. So it seems like the vehicle isn't moving forward yet. Let me check what I might have done wrong. It doesn't seem like I've done anything wrong here. I don't think it's anything about the audio down here. Yep. Oh, I think. I'm not quite sure why this isn't working.
All right. So let's look at it together. I think we had this issue yesterday as well. Anyway. So I know some people already have the same issue, isn't it? That your uh, vehicle is not moving forward, right? I know some people has got that the same issue. Joshua, do you want to share yours? I think yours worked, isn't it? So 1 minute. Can you bring that code again up?
This code.
Yeah. So this
all the
one.
code is right here.
Okay. Can you close it and open it again? Let's see.
Okay.
Enoch, 1 minute. Let's see if it works. So if it works, you paste the code into the chat. 1 minute. Do you want to share your screen again, David?
Going.
Did you restart Unity?
Yep.
Okay, you know what? Let's start all over quickly. We got 10 minutes. Can you create a new project, please? So let me stop.